Our 2023 Provider of the Year, Dr. Jim Lesnick, has left an indelible mark in Riverside's history. From his extraordinary talent as a physician and leader to his heartfelt support as a philanthropist, Dr. Lesnick has kept patient care and the health of our communities at the center of all that he does. We are honored to celebrate that commitment tonight.
You know, if you were going to describe or characterize, what's an ideal physician, Jim would hit every one of those bullets.
As a neurosurgeon, I can attest to his many qualifications and skills. To give you an example of a case, this was a healthy, middle-aged lady, and the CT scan showed a rather large blood clot in the right temporal lobe of her brain, and if this were to continue, then it could cause catastrophic compression of the upper brainstem. Took her to the OR, took out the blood clot, and then my worst fear was realized. There, looking me in the face, was this large, pulsating middle cerebral artery aneurysm. There was a tiny little thrombus or clot on this paper-thin wall of the aneurysm. Looking at that aneurysm and putting a surgical clip on it, it couldn't be done that way. It was too dangerous. I needed help. Within 15 minutes, he did it, clipped the aneurysm. She recovered uneventfully without any significant neurologic deficit and resumed a normal lifestyle.
He knew where every payphone was on the off 64 and always had a pocket full of quarters because he would get paged and need to stop and make a phone call. I can remember one time we went out to dinner and he got paged and he left to find a payphone in the restaurant, and he was gone a long time. And so the wait staff came up to me, checked on me, everything was okay. And finally they came over and said, "Ma'am, can we get you a cab?"
Relatively early in his career here, Jim became a magician. The impetus of that, I believe, was to improve his small motor skills so that he would be a more adept surgeon. And it's that kind of attention to detail that really speaks to who Jim is.
If we talk about physician leadership relative to the medical group, then you're talking about Dr. Lesnick and his impact as one of the first leaders of the medical group, which is pretty daunting for a physician, quite honestly, and stepping out from the clinical environment and caring for patients into a leadership role, which comes with much different expectations, accountability, and especially when you're one of the first.
He added so much and cared so deeply about establishing this medical group in an honest, transparent, and fair way. He leaned in.
Dr. Lesnick has always been able to have crucial conversations with anyone, whether it was one of our team members, whether it was another provider. He always had just a very cool, calm demeanor. That's just something that has just always really impressed me.
He was very instrumental in establishing the Gamma Knife program, a partnership with UVA, and we have a debt of gratitude for the vision and work that he did in that area.
I can't say enough about Dr. Lesnick and how encouraging he was in the early days of the foundation. He really understood that involving the physicians in philanthropy could be very valuable. He also championed the continuing reminder that with philanthropy, our physicians could provide the Riverside care difference.
It's a different type of gifting than the gifts of skill and education and insight. Dr. Lesnick believes in it, and he began early to be one of the first docs to demonstrate it.
He always approached things as a neurosurgeon would approach things with care, respect for what he was doing, but also a certain determination to get results.
We went from being a hospital-based health system that had a medical group to a medical group that had hospitals, and we really changed that paradigm. You know, and when he went through training, you were a gladiator, and it was about being the best that you could be. And we now know that it's great care comes from great teams. Jim was very visionary in embracing that concept as it developed within medicine.
Now, when you look at the Riverside Medical Group and being 750, almost 800, growing to almost 800 providers, what a legacy.